180. Alert.
Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And right away, he lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
Look at me. Zipper.
Following the fumble recovery, Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down.
Let's go.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing, Jones. Dancing to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down.
Snickers, 66.
Come on, D.
Let's go.
Mike 29. I got him. 29 is the Mike. Mike 29. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. 29.
Roethlisberger will throw. Well, he's going to go for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
23 yards, the final tally. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there, couldn't hang on. Second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
I smell fear in that offense. 58, boy, 58, Mike.
Yo, go! Snap.
Jones now to throw again. Going for the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
Snickers. Quarter.
Alert 3.
On second down, Bernard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit, and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Mike,
Hey, exit.
I got you.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down.
8 read. We own this. 6-6. Lee Griffin.
On 2nd down, Anderson. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
10-2 stop.
On 3rd and 2, Jones. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. It's caught inside the 25. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
At the 19-yard line.
18 Gator.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the 2nd quarter as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
Come on, set. 50, plant. Watch the screen. Hey, high 7. You draw Corcoran.
Check. No. Got one.
And ready.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Ready, set.
Now Jones. Flushed out right. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Anderson. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. C.J. Anderson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jets have taken the lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he loses the football a 2nd time. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy. because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
He's going to look deep down the field into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. DJ Chark hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jets get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
He's got his man here as Gary Jennings Jr. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
24. Hey, Haywood.
They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Bernard. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Hey! Motion. Mike, easy. 33. Bring it.
Roethlisberger now to throw on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
I got one.
Hey, Orbit.
58, come on.
Jones on 1st and 10. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm.
Go.
Check 59. And come on out here.
Now Jones going to throw again. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught at the 20. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. Big yardage that time for the Jets. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Back to throw. Jones. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. DJ Chark with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Jets will extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Roethlisberger. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards on the play, first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
8.
Mike, 9, sweetheart.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And finding the tight end, Hooper.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A draw play, Bernard. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. The Texans on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Intended for Gary Jennings. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey.
58, right over.
Hey, Alpha.
Mike, 58, right there.
Roll out, defense.
Jones now. A final shot before break. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the 2nd half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 16 yards, a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. There to stop him, Jawan Bentley.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
It's just me and you.
Again, Anderson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll take a shot for the end. Got a man It's caught. Touchdown, Jets. DJ Chark, 33 yards. And the Jets will extend their lead.
Jones' pass complete to DJ Chark. Touchdown, New York.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a carry for Bernard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
3rd and 6.
Black 20.
Mike 29. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Double bump.
29 is a Mike. Mike 20.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Roethlisberger now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's Bernard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
77.
29 is a Mike. Mike 29.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. That's caught out right by Jennings. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Let's get it.
5.
They're going on 4th down. It's Roethlisberger. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11.
1st and 10 at the 30.
Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Jarrell Casey coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Bernard. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's scooped up by the Jets. The 30, past the 20. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead.
35, Texans 3.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 24-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear that he's into the clear. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. 5. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 76 yards. And the Texans cut into that lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will cut this lead down to 25.
Texans 10. Daniel Carlson set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do...
He's got a man complete. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. DJ Chark, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
No problem there on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Get ready. Get ready.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Jack 16.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. It's caught on the right side at Smith. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
When the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Here we go on 4th down with Roethlisberger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Carter. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position.
Break.
53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Coming.
5.
Here's Jones. Throwing on 1st down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. DJ Chark, 28 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their line.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ben Banagou in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Back now in Houston, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Come on.
Jack 16. Hey, Echo.
Roethlisberger. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw here, Roethlisberger. He got his man complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 92 yards. And the Texans claw one back. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw it with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he will get into the end zone as the deficit moves from really bad to slightly less than really bad. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games.
Oh, wide open, complete, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. DJ Chark, 75 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, a big bid intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 17, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary in that last possession, though.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, alert, 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 alert!
A first down carry for Smith, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Here we go, here we go. 180.
He's tired of me. He's tired of us.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go again.
22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber.
Switch. Go.
They run it again with Anderson. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Birdie base.
What's the run? They're running it. Deuce.
Big rip.
Throwing Jones. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Jones throwing on 4th down. He's going to let this one go deep. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line.
Like 80.
29. You.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 23. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and it's a touchdown for the Jets. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You've got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
The Texans take over.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo
exactly.
going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Third down and 10.
The Texans on third down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Come on, man. Let's go.
At their own 27-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Now Jones. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Woods with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 32. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37th.
At the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, exit.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Smooth.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Airing it out for Olsen. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's